One question which really surprises me is on the international media channels is they're seen asking Pakistan government officials to confirm and provide evidence, provide proof that they have really shot down 5 Indian Air Force jets 2-3 days ago. Whilst at the same time, these media channels have failed to ask the question from the Indian government officials who have not been able to provide a single iota of proof over the last 2 weeks of the Pahalgam attack and Pakistan's connectivity to it. The same media channels have not raised the voice where the Indian government have unilaterally decided to suspend Sintas agreement and tried to stop the water supply to Pakistan. The same media channels have not asked this question from the Indian government or their officials where when they claim that they have taken out terrorists, we have seen bodies of small children being killed in those attacks. But yes, they want the Pakistan government to prove that they have shot down the 5 jets. Who cares? At the same time, the Pakistan government should raise the questions, and the same channels should raise the questions that why were the Indian channels so excited when the Jafar Express attack was happening in Balochistan? Why these Indian channels get so excited talking about the uprising in Balochistan by a few hundred people? No, they keep quiet about it. Whilst the same media channels fail to see the sentiments of the Kashmiris who are not trying or not seen in the same bloggers or interviewers from the Indian origin when asking these questions from the same Kashmiri people who are clearly seen they're not taking Indian side, showing to the world that they are not trusting the Indian government after what they did by suspending Article 370A, but at the same time, they are not seen in allegiance or in alliance with the Indian government in this situation. They know that this could be a very well a false flag operation, knowing the elections coming up in India, seeing the beating the BJP government got in the last elections, seeing what is happening when it's happening to the Waqf board resolution, seeing what they're happening when they're introducing these caste systems in India. Apparently so, these questions have not been asked. But at the same time, the same media channels I'm watching have the audacity to ask government officials in Pakistan, oh really, have you really shot down those 5 planes? You know why you're asking those questions? Because you cannot believe that the Chinese technology was good enough to take down your European jets. It's the same thing which we see nowadays, where it's been established clearly that all these branded goods, be it Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, any brands, in the large brands, were being manufactured in China and just packed in Europe and USA. I don't think it's much to accept that Chinese technology can take it down. They are seen asking this question, oh, was it a Chinese equipment used? Yes, it is the same way the French equipment or the American equipment or the Russian equipment are being used to attack Pakistan. Pakistan locally made Chinese equipment, supported equipment or Chinese technology has been locally manufactured in Pakistan, has been instrumental, backed by Pakistani pilots, backed by Pakistan Armed Forces, backed by Pakistan Navy, who have been instrumental in keeping supposedly one of the largest economies in the world at bay. Think about it. It's been 2 weeks, more than that. India has not been able to lead a ground offensive, though that has been the sentiment of their own people. War is not a solution. But if war is brought upon a country like Pakistan, I am sure a war-hardened country who loves and lives for action would be able to reply and equal or maybe more, and they will enjoy whilst fighting this battle. But would that be the solution? No, I don't think so. One more question which people are asking me, would this war ever go nuclear? I frankly hope it doesn't go nuclear. Because if it goes nuclear and India persists in stopping water supply to Pakistan, then what stops Pakistan in firing those nuclear missiles on the water sources going and supplying water in the whole of the subcontinent? So that's the whole thing. The media, international media, has to start asking questions of the Indian government that why have they not requested or approved or supported an independent investigation of what happened actually in Pahalgam, they would then be able to know that it was an indigenous uprising, like the way the Indian claims is happening in Balochistan. So if these questions are not being answered, then how do you expect this situation will go down? My further analysis on the situation is that of the 6 or 7 attacks which India has done on Pakistan, they have taken out mosques and they have taken out seminaries in Pakistan, like the way they are doing in their own country. But do you now think that the people who have a lot of allegiance to seminaries, and is of course a lot of all Muslims have the allegiance to the mosques, would not be kept quiet and at bay and expect Pakistan to keep them quiet? I don't think this is going to happen. This is going to be in a long haul. And this is why it's very important for the international community to step in, to avoid these situations happening after every few months or a year, that they should step in and finally step in to resolve the issue of Kashmir. Because it's a mess created thanks to people like Lord Mountbatten, because of his closeness to the Kashmiri Maharaja at the time, and who awarded and decided to give Kashmir to India. It's a mess created by the British at that time. And I think British has good terms with both Pakistan and India, and they should step in and try to resolve the situation between the two, instead of statements coming out of thrown out disgraced Prime Minister of Britain, Rishi Sunak, who thinks that this was a terrorist attack. He fails to recognize the fact that the Kashmiris in India want independence from India, and it's the same kind of uprising which you're seeing in Kashmir, which is happening anywhere else in the world. How come it's terrorism in India, whilst India supports the same logic in Balochistan or in Pakistan's other areas? Why can't they accept the fact in their own turf? So these are some of the questions which Pakistan and its spokespeople should stress on, should discuss more the Baloch issue, that how India is supporting the Baloch issue, a Baloch uprising, how India is supporting the Kharjai problem coming out of Afghanistan to create nuisance in Pakistan, how Indian intelligence have been creating nuisance for some countries across in GCC, and how India has been assassinating people globally on their own turf, their own citizens. These kind of questions should also be asked in parallel, while Pakistan should definitely be asked questions why India is not being asked the questions just because they are your trade partners. Now let's not forget one thing. This India is neighbored by nuclear powered Pakistan, and nuclear technology is not going anywhere. The threat of that would always hover on both the countries unless the main issues are resolved. And the main issues, I think now, is not trade. There was peace between India and Pakistan for so many years, but what happened? Did we arrive at solution on Kashmir? No. In fact, India found that opportunity to annex Kashmir through suspending Article 370A. Recently, we have seen they're suspending our Sintas treaty. Tomorrow, whilst other treaties could be suspended as well. These questions need to be answered if you want a serious peace in the subcontinent and you don't want a nuclear war happening in this region. Thank you. Pakistan Zindabad.